Welcome to One More Thing, a ministry of First Baptist Kirksville. I'm Jason Marlin, here with Travis Kurtman.
Hello.
And also Ethan Bray.
What's up?
All right, we're walking through our discipleship pathway, and we've made it all the way now to invest and invite. This is really our evangelism strategy here at First Baptist, how we really try to reach out to our community and try to get people from the outside to become insiders. So whenever you hear invest and invite, what's the first thing that comes to mind, Travis?
Chocolate. No, I don't
Chocolate?
Listen, you keep putting me on the spot on these things.
Yeah.
I don't work like that.
You got to come quick.
No, listen. Invest and invite. So you care enough about somebody where you want to invite them to church. What's going on?
That's right. So our evangelism strategy. Right. Think about that. What about you? Think of investing.
I think just spending time with people, getting to know them, and then inviting them, meeting them where they're at is a big thing I try to think about. So.
Yeah. So back in the day, early, like let's say 20 years ago, 40 years ago, like you could just simply expect people to come to church, right? Like you could just have
just what you did.
Yeah, so people would just come. You could just say, oh, well, the church is just open. That's just how it is. But that's not the way it is today, right? People aren't just going to come to church. That's not happening. Or you could just invite people to church, and that would. But I think today there needs to be that both. There needs to be an investing and an inviting culture that we have to have. Because first off, they need to know that you care, and then they also need to know, hey, where are you going? So come to church. So that's why I like the idea of invest and invite. In fact, I think it goes with Jesus' mission statement in Luke chapter 19. Let me read this to you. In Luke chapter 19, verse 10, Jesus says, "For the Son of Man came to seek and to save that which is lost." So again, one of the purposes he came, everything that he did was kind of like a divine appointment. I'm going to go find people, and I'm going to invest in them, and then I'm going to invite them into a relationship with me, and then I want them to grow into faith and try to grow. So whenever I think about evangelism, I think a lot of people get scared of that word. But we try to frame it in such a way that evangelism doesn't have to be scary, right? Especially when we talk about these two words, invest and invite. That really is just make friends. Make friends and invite them to something that you find is important, which hopefully is the church family. I think we try to create a environment here at First Baptist that makes it, first of all, easy to invite somebody to, but also something that you're not embarrassed to invite somebody to. So Travis, explain kind of our worship experience. So if somebody were to invite somebody to our worship experience, what could they expect? How would they have to dress, or what would they expect?
Yeah, you hear a lot of churches use the slogan like "Come as you are," right? And I think here at First Baptist, we have people that wear jeans and t-shirt, and we got people that wear. Does anybody wear a suit? I don't know. Maybe, but you don't have to dress all up and be fancy to come worship with us here at First Baptist Church, for sure.
Yeah. So whenever you think of evangelism, how do you try to teach your college students how to invite people to church?
I tell them to start, I say pray for them. Spend all week asking God to change their heart and give them a desire to come. Because I've known in my own walk, that's been a really big thing. It gives me encouragement that I know God's going to be with me, but I also know that God's already working in that person's heart before I get there. And then I try to encourage, do it with someone else. I think when you bring someone else, it shows it's not just you going, it's more people. And then the last thing I really try to encourage them with is be excited about it, right? If you invite someone to something that you don't seem excited about or you don't, get up for, there's a good chance they're going to think, well, that's a waste of my time because you're not even excited about it. So I think how you go about doing it, talk up our church. Tell them what you enjoy about it, what you look forward to, who you look forward to seeing, so they might know someone that, goes and they would be excited to see them too. So those are the three things that I really try to hit on each week.
Those are really good. So when you think about investing, who are some people probably that they already have? What does investing mean, I guess, is what I'm trying to...
I liked what you said earlier, be friends with, make friends, make friends. So a lot of times, we will, have people over for dinner and do things like that and just get to know other families. And then from building that relationship, it's a great bridge to, hey, where do y'all should come to First Baptist or whatever that's going on. But, Ethan likes to play ball a lot, whatever you're doing. I think whatever you have a love for, like there's an opportunity there for you to invest in others, for you to make friends. You know, you love playing basketball with these guys, you know, once a week. It's really easy at that point to say, man, you guys ought to come to church with me, you know, because you're building that relationship. You're making friends, right?
Yeah, so I like that idea. So stop and think about, so whatever I'm a part of, think about it in terms of an evangelistic eyes. You know, so if I'm, again, playing ball, or if I'm on the soccer field coaching, or if I'm, in my job, or wherever I am, I want to have evangelistic eyes, and I want to invest, become friends, but then ultimately I want to invite. So first of all, we want to invest. So again, that's the building of the relationships. But now let's shift to the invite. And that's probably the hard part. That's kind of what scares people a lot of times. I guess maybe in marketing, that kind of stuff, they call it the ask. The ask is always the hardest part. So what are some ways that, how can we ask? How can we invite people to come?
I think my go-to is always like, hey, where do y'all go to church, right? And that just starts that conversation. They may say, oh, well, we go to this church, and they love it and all this stuff. Well, that's, you're creating, a deeper level of friendship at that point. But I think that's always a good start of, hey, where do you guys go to church? Or if the church is having an activity like a D Now or something for the youth, it's always a good thing to talk about that. Like, hey, man, we got this really awesome youth event coming up, and we'd love to have your kids come to it. So
yeah. Can you think of any other ways to invite?
With our college kids, I always tell them if they're not really big into coming to a church setting, we have a thing called outpost groups. So I say invite them to that first. It's a Bible study. They get the religious talk there that they might feel comfortable with because it's just students. And then I say after you get them comfortable with that, try Ignite. And then after Ignite, try to get them on a Sunday morning. Yeah. And just kind of like baby steps, walking or living life with them through each of those things. And I think that's been a big help. One of the guys we just got to baptize a few months ago, he just came to an outpost group, which led to an Ignite, and then he started coming on Sunday. So I just think it's an easy way.
I think we always say today, like the front door of the church, a lot of times is your social media. So I think a lot of times it's easy to send somebody a Facebook page or maybe a YouTube clip or something like that. So you could send them that. Say, hey, watch our service. That way you already get to know, you already get to hear, you get the rhythm of our church family. So go ahead and send them a link of our Facebook page, or send a link of our podcast. Get to know our pastors a little bit. We have invite cards. Those are really simple, right? Pass out an invite card. Discuss maybe the fears, like, hey, why are you scared of going to church? What's going on? What's the problem? Maybe they had a bad experience, and maybe you can identify and help them out with that. Tell your story. We've actually even got a place on our website where people have told their story. Tell your faith story of how you came to faith and how you got involved in church. And then finally, I think it's always important. We got Easter coming up here in a couple of weeks or whatever. Use those special days to your advantage. Say, hey, Easter's a really big deal for us. We would love for you to come be a part of our Easter celebration. We've got a lot of cool things happening. We got this awesome flowering cross that's going to be put up. We'd love for you to be a part of that. We've got some awesome worship and music and all. So use those special events, special holidays that you can do to invite people over.
And I think just a side note, when you do invite them to, whether it's Easter or maybe it's just a normal Sunday, like a big thing for me and my wife that I've noticed is like offer to take them out to lunch. Like, hey, let's go out to lunch afterward and just tell me what you thought about it, or what do you think about the sermon, or what do you think about the music, and let them kind of give you some feedback. And I think that's gone a long way too.
Yeah, well, good. Well, listen, I want to let Sarah give us one more thing to discuss what's going to happen. So, Sarah, tell us what's happening.
Thanks, guys. We read a study recently that said that 82% of people said they would attend church if someone invited them. On the flip side, though, it says that only 2% of church members ever invite anybody to their church, and we want to change that. You know, these people are already in our lives. Maybe they're in your neighborhood, maybe they're at your job, they could be on your kids' sports teams, or maybe they're in your family. No matter who they are, though, it starts with you. You have to invest in their lives, and then you have to take the plunge and invite them to join you right here. We always have invite cards available at all of our exit doors that you can grab. It's an easy way to pass along information to them about where we are located and what times they can be here. But the most important thing is that you build a relationship with them and that you invite them to be a part of all the great things that are happening right here at First Baptist. We can't wait to see who you invest and invite to First Baptist.
Thanks, Sarah. That really is an interesting stat, and I really want to encourage everybody, hey, let's get on the invitations. Let's try to push everybody, come to First Baptist, and we want to make sure that we get as many people as possible filling up these pews. Now it's, of course, First Family Fun. I heard somebody send us a text this morning about she loved the First Family Fun, so I guess that's what we can kind of call this thing. So, Sarah, you got a little First Family Fun happening today, so what's this bags here in front of us? What's happening?
Yeah, so that game thing went so well last week, I thought we would play another game. This one is called What's in the Bag, and it's really a game of how well do you bluff, also known as lie.
Oh, no.
Or not lie. Or do you tell the truth? I don't know.
That's right.
So here's what's going to happen. We're going to start with Travis. When it's your turn, you're going to not open it. You're going to look in your bag, see what's in there. And it's going to be your turn to tell these guys what's in the bag. And they're going to determine whether or not you're being truthful or whether you're bluffing. And then we'll find out what's in your bag.
Okay, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Now, Jason will look, so be
Molly.
careful.
I'm trying to look in his glasses.
All right, so in my bag, I have two things. One is a baby diaper.
Used?
You gotta smell it.
I don't think so. The other thing is cereal. It's just like scattered all at the bottom of the bag. Diapered and cereal.
Could he lie about one and be truthful about the other? And try to get us with a trick, so technically be
is he
wrong?
being honest or dishonest?
I think that's exactly what's in your bag.
I'll go opposite. I'll say dishonest.
Baby diaper.
And there's
And
cereal.
some cereal.
You know me.
Way to be honest.
I lose those
I know
every
you're not
time.
going to lie to us.
All right. Up next.
He's trying to decide if he wants to say it, what's
Lying.
actually in the bag.
Hey, what size diaper is that?
Something up.
Can you take
Yeah,
that
it's
home?
gonna take that home.
Listen, Travis, when do you think that diaper was made?
I don't
That
know,
is
but
old. That's
listen,
like plastic.
I
It's
have to
plastic.
vacuum all this up now. This is pretty old diaper. It's Barney's. It's got Barney on it.
Oh, oof. All right, Jason, what do you got?
So these are two of my biggest fears.
Snakes and spiders.
Spider. I have fear of spiders. So I have a spider in here. It's very scary. It's
Okay.
not a real spider.
Of course.
Toy spider.
Of
If it was a real one, it would be thrown across the room. I have a toy spider and corn.
Corn is your biggest fear?
There was an accident on the farm.
One day I was walking through the corn stalks.
I think you're being honest.
I got it. I'm honest too.
Yeah, he's being honest.
Check out this crazy contraption.
Yes.
That's wild. All right.
Told you. All
I
right.
didn't know how to lie about that. It's kind of,
I mean, you can't really make up anything more weird than that.
Yeah.
Right? Corn and a spider. Okay.
two of my greatest fears. Look at a rocket on my corn.
You're like a rocket spider.
Okay, I have three things.
Oh,
Well, I guess it's considered one if you would like to do that. I have rice, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle,
Hey, that should have been yours.
and beans.
Rice and beans.
I'm gonna call your bluff.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're lying too
Say you're
because
lying.
we told the truth and you want to be different.
I wish that were so. But we got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
And
beans,
all in
rice,
the thing.
in a jar.
You didn't tell me you had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle floating around the church.
I'll give you the turtle for the diaper.
Nobody,
Are you eating the cereal? That's
Good cereal. I'm gonna waste this.
Is it the
What's it
Fruity
called?
Pebbles chocolate one?
Well, it's good to know that all of us were terrible at lying because we chose the truth.
Every one of you chose the truth.
We are truthful folks.
We
We're
have
truthful
faith in each
people.
other.
That's right.
I don't lie.
But, and plus, again, I didn't know how to lie about. That would have been hard to lie about. What you could have said is, I have rice and beans with a
Turtle.
Turtle surfing on top.
Well, not, you could just say with a Superman.
Ooh, that would have been a good
I
idea.
have a frog with a tomato.
Oh yeah, I guess I could have
You
said
don't
that.
have to lie about that.
I
The
wasn't.
stuff in the bags were too good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did really good stuff in the bag. Those are two freaky things
Know what
in the
I mean?
bag.
There's some good stuff lying around this church.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, if you
Which
had
is
like
why
a
you
bag
should
that just had like a little book in it, we
I
would probably lie.
have a bag of with
just
a
a
book.
book.
Then I could have said I have a spider and a corn. My two
But it would
fearful
have
things.
actually been a book.
It would have actually been a book.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I really hope you guys enjoy our podcast, and hopefully you guys will do what we ask you to do. Go and invest and invite. Because, listen, we want to be like Jesus. Jesus said, hey, I came to seek and save that which is lost. In fact, one of my favorite passages is whenever Jesus first called his disciples, and he found Andrew. And Andrew, the first thing Andrew did whenever he found Jesus is he went and found his brother. And he found his brother, and he said, "Oh, listen, you got to come find this brother. You got to come see this guy, Jesus." So after he found Jesus, he found his brother, and he brought him to Jesus. That we should be like that. When we find Jesus, we find other people and bring them to Jesus. So invest, invite, bring people to Jesus, bring people to church. Like our podcast, like us on Facebook, subscribe, and we'll see you guys Sunday. All right, see you.